You see Nifty by 2030 above 30,000 or below 30,000.
If anybody thinks that it will 30,000, then we all are in the wrong place.
AI is right now kind of a bubble.
If you behave like a gambler, then the market is a casino.
If you have to make a portfolio in 2030, how do you pick stocks? Government push भी इन दो sectors को मिल रहा है और वो 10 sectors है. So hello everyone, welcome to another podcast and today we have a special guest और इनका नाम है आशीष सोमैया and बहुत लोग जो पहले से इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं उनको ऑलरेडी पता होगा आशीष सोमैया जी के बारे में. So let me just give a quick introduction.
My pleasure.
So you have 20 years of experience in the industry. And Motilal Oswal में आप CEO थे that time, and you, if I'm not wrong, you grew that business from 1,300 crore AMU to 40,000 crore AMU, right? And right now, you are the CEO of White Oak, and वहाँ पर आप around 80,000 crores manage करते हैं.
So I'm the CEO for domestic. No, I'm CEO for domestic business. White Oak totally is about 85,000 crores. Domestic business is relatively younger. That is about 35,000 crores.
अच्छा, okay. And अभी पॉडकास्ट शुरू होने से पहले ना हमने थोड़े ऑडियंस के क्वेश्चंस क्यूरेट किए थे. And then we decided we'll not go with that questions. You know why? Because 90% of the questions were कि आशीष सर से पूछो कि कौन सा स्टॉक खरीदना है. बस उतना बता दो. That's why we have to
that obviously the regulation doesn't.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah, तो इसलिए हमें वो फॉर्मेट छोड़ना पड़ा and we had our different questions. So Ashish, right now if you see in the market now, most of the investors are like kind of like थोड़ा सा skeptical है because बहुत सारे लोगों का पोर्टफोलियो रेड में है and मार्केट थोड़ा सा वॉलेटाइल है and रिटेल पार्टिसिपेशन भी थोड़ा कम हो रहा है.
Weakens, yeah.
And most importantly, डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प ना इंडिया के पीछे ना हाथ धो के पीछे पड़े. So what do you expect कि मार्केट यहाँ से कहाँ जा सकता है इन शॉर्ट टर्म और लॉन्ग टर्म, whatever you feel, और आपका रिसर्च जो भी बोलता है.
Yeah, so see actually क्या होता है कि पिछले साल like see the way the market works is obviously आप जानते हैं you have to be counter intuitive. या आपको थोड़ा since you are meeting me in Mumbai उसको उल्टा खोपड़ी बोलते हैं. थोड़ा उल्टा सोचने की क्षमता आपकी होनी चाहिए. क्यों मैं आपको बताता हूँ, क्योंकि right now obviously like you said थोड़े टाइम से market is volatile, people are not making returns, it's causing some concern, right? वो क्यों है? क्योंकि let's say we are talking in September 2025, तो market is say Nifty को अगर देखते हैं तो से somewhere near 25,000 and why are people concerned or why people are losing patience? क्योंकि एक साल पहले भी सेम जगह में था, like the peak was what 26,200 or something. तो 13 महीने हो गए अगस्त एंड से लेके when it made the peak 13 months हो गए. तो क्या होता है when अगर एक साल पहले जब 26,200 जब गया था ना, तब what was the concern? इंडिया का GDP ग्रोथ का प्रोजेक्शन 5.4% था. गवर्नमेंट वाज जस्ट आउट ऑफ एन इलेक्शन, तो कोएलिशन पॉलिटिक्स कितना चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा. कॉर्पोरेट प्रॉफिट ग्रोथ करीब 0% था. ट्रम्प साहब का चुनाव आने वाला था और ट्रम्प साहब चुनाव जीतेंगे तो क्या होगा इसके बारे में स्पेक्यूलेशन. रूपी डेप्रिसिएशन की चिंता, सोवरेन डाउनग्रेड की चिंता थी लोगों को. लिक्विडिटी वाज टाइट, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स वेर हाई. दिस वाज 1 year बैक.
यस,
लेकिन तभी जब 26,000 था तब तो पैसा लगा रहे थे ना लोग, राइट? आप उनको बोलते कि मार्केट से सावधान रहिए तो वो आपको बोलते क्या भरत भाई आप तो बहुत डिफेंसिव है, बताओ कौन सा माइक्रो कैप लेने का है, बताओ कौन सा डिफेंस या रेलवे इंफ्रा लेने का है. दैट वाज द मूड 1 year बैक ना. नाउ द वे द मार्केट वर्क्स 1 year लेटर, एक साल पास हो गया, निफ्टी स्टिल 1,000 पॉइंट्स लोअर देन वेयर इट वाज 1 year बैक. तो मार्केट का सिंपल गणित ये बोलता है कि एक साल तक अगर मार्केट सेम लेवल पे रहता है ना तो 12 से 15% सस्ता हो जाता है ऑटोमेटिकली, राइट? बिकॉज इन 1 year व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इज द जीडीपी ग्रोथ प्रोजेक्शन हैज गॉन फ्रॉम 5.4 टू नाउ फिच सेट 6.9, राइट? कॉर्पोरेट अर्निंग्स ग्रोथ कोई बहुत मेजर बाउंस बैक नहीं है, बट जीरो के बजाय कम से कम सिंगल डिजिट तक तो आ गया. Interest rates, RBI is cutting, interest rates are down, liquidity is better, currency went up and down but it's relatively stable, sovereign rating has got upgraded, right? RBI policy has changed, उसी के साथ government policy has changed. Now there's no discussion on coalition politics, the government is back in full force, spending on infrastructure and cut income taxes and rationalized GST.
Yes.
तो एक साल पहले with no clarity you are willing to invest at 26,000. तो एक साल बाद with reasonably lot more clarity, if you're at the same place, you should not be as perturbed. Like you should feel more comfortable कि भाई पहले के मुकाबले market is now cheaper plus there is more clarity. Of course, when every time Mr. Trump announces something on X, you feel like doing something कि भाई अब क्या करें. But the point is that, I'll just give you an analogy. In early 70s, India and US were very confrontational. When Mr. Richard Nixon was the president, Henry Kissinger was Secretary of State, Mrs. Gandhi was our PM. That time, India and US were absolutely poles apart, confrontational. At that time, did you get every day an update on what was being negotiated or what was being spoken or how bad it was? No. You came to know 50 years later how bad it was because some files got declassified. Correct? लेकिन अभी का सिनेरियो कैसा है? अभी भी दो कंट्रीज के बीच में पॉलिटिक्स है, जियो पॉलिटिक्स है. लेकिन अभी क्या हो रहा है? इन द मिडस्ट ऑफ अ नेगोशिएशन जो भी बात हो रहा है वो आके बंदा ट्वीट कर रहा है आपको. तुमने ऐसा बोला तो मैं ऐसा करेगा, तुम उधर गए तो मैं वहां जाऊंगा. बिग बॉस हो रहा है. राइट. या बट दैट डजंट मीन यू हैव टू रिएक्ट टू ऑल ऑफ इट. एक ट्वीट पढ़ के आप अपना पोर्टफोलियो बेच देंगे, फिर उस पर आपको शॉर्ट टर्म गेन लॉन्ग टर्म गेन लगेगा. अगले हफ्ते दूसरा ट्वीट आएगा, फिर मार्केट 5% ऊपर मिलेगा. यस. Can't do much about it. So I think what you don't know you have to ignore, or what you cannot quantify you have to ignore it. And you have to be a bit counter cyclical to the market.
Understand. And अभी ना right now ट्रम्प का एक कंसर्न ये है ना कि बहुत सारे इन्वेस्टर्स वो ये सोचते हैं कि अभी ट्रम्प ने टैरिफ लगा दिया 50%. अभी अगर टेक्सटाइल इन पे इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, एक्सपोर्ट्स कम होंगे, तो मेनी पीपल स्पेकुलेट काइंड ऑफ कि जो एक्सट्रीम लेवल पे स्पेकुलेट करते हैं, दे थिंक दैट कि 3-4 क्वार्टर्स में इम्पैक्ट होना चाहिए, मार्केट क्रैश होगा, मार्केट गिरेगा. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ थॉट्स आर देयर. सो वुड यू लाइक टू एड्रेस दीज थॉट्स?
So there is one thing, it is still in the realm of, like you rightly said, what we are discussing is still in the realm of speculation. But whatever limited I understand, I can just tell you that information which is widely available to everybody, और जो चीज़ बहुत आम तौर पे बहुत चर्चित होती है, जिसके बारे में सब बात करते हैं, जिसके बारे में सब जानते हैं, जिसके बारे में जैसे आप आज किसी को बोलेंगे तो बच्चा आपको बोल देगा कि आईटी कंपनीज तो ग्रो कर नहीं सकते हैं अभी. राइट. तो जो चीज़ सबको पता होता है ना, उसको मार्केट रिएक्ट नहीं करता है कभी.
ओके.
राइट. मार्केट विल ओनली रिएक्ट if there is a rollback on tariff, or if there is a renegotiation, or if there is an FTA which is announced. Think the other side also, na? Why we are thinking only about what people already know? Why we are not thinking that what happens if an FTA is signed or if some tariff is rolled back? Then what will happen?
Yes.
Tariff लग गया हो तो सबको मालूम है. But FTA साइन होएगा और tariff कुछ कम होगा तो क्या होगा? कब होगा? So market always, I'm not trying to say positive or negative. I'm just explaining a perspective that market will respond to something which is unknown. Market never responds to something which is already known.
No, yeah, that is true. And I mean, एक काइंड ऑफ परसेप्शन है कि दिस इज नॉट अबाउट ट्रम्प हैज इम्पोज टैरिफ, ये रशियन ऑयल के बारे में नहीं है. एंड मेनी पीपल बिलीव दैट देयर इज द रीजन इज समथिंग एल्स. एंड इफ यू गो ऑन एक्स, इफ यू गो ऑन इंस्टा, यू विल फाइंड क्रेजी अमाउंट ऑफ रीजंस. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक, व्हाट डज ट्रम्प रियली वांट फ्रॉम इंडिया?
No, yeah, Bharat, see, the thing is like this, that we should not be, see, investors, the stock market is a machine for discounting all future probabilities and possibilities.
Okay.
Right? I don't think that research would include your ability to read the mind of one individual. Right? Like, for example, if you're dealing with a efficient democracy, right, then there is some predictability. Right? Like, if you say, I'll give you an example. If you take last 30 years in India, sometime fast, sometime slow, the democratic process and the compulsions of the country have resulted in sometime fast, sometime slow, yes, but a predictable deregulation and a predictable liberalization. Right? But एक पार्टी पावर में होती है तो वो कुछ चीज़ को अपोज करती है, बट जब वो पार्टी खुद पावर में आती है, फिर जो भी देश का रिक्वायरमेंट है, कंपल्शन है, जैसे इंश्योरेंस का प्राइवेटाइजेशन होना चाहिए, जैसे जीएसटी में या रिटेलिंग में थोड़ा लिबरलाइजेशन या प्राइवेटाइजेशन या फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट इन रिटेलिंग, या तो फिर आप जैसे जीएसटी का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंक्रप्सी कोड, राइट, टैक्स रिफॉर्म्स एंड वाइडनिंग द टैक्स नेट. तो आप देख रहे हैं ना, 30 ईयर्स से यहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट रेट नीचे जा रहा है, हर सेक्टर में लिबरलाइजेशन हो रहा है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट you can have some prediction about something which is following a process or a system in a democratic fashion. But when lot of things become person specific, that you just don't know what this powerful person will do tomorrow morning, right? Like it happened in China, right? For instance, as per whatever people understood of Chinese process, a president will have 2 terms. The current president has made some changes in their
Yes,
party
yes.
whereby he has a 3rd term.
Yeah.
And that definitely caused some turmoil in 21-22. Right? It resulted in intervention in the economy, intervention in the markets, intervention with certain, entrepreneurs, correct? And that caused turbulence in their market. So I don't think we all should be putting our energy behind predicting what one powerful individual, right? मतलब किधर करवट लेगा. So I don't think you should be. Yes, if you feel because of unpredictability, what you can do is for some time you can stop being aggressive. For some time you can hedge your positions and recalibrate your asset allocation. You can choose not to take risk. That you can do.
Okay.
But better not to bet on one individual's.
मतलब
thought
हमारे
process.
कंट्रोल में जो है वो करे, जो हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं है we can't do anything.
Yeah, because see, so I'm not an expert, but I'll just give you examples to clarify what I said. In the last 1 year, there are many times people have said US and India are friends. Many times people say US and India are not friends.
Yes.
But can't you see that it changes from agenda to agenda or topic to topic? In certain things we are friends, and in certain things we are not friends. So isn't it more topic to topic, transaction to transaction?
Yes.
Right. So I think it's better that we don't indulge in forecasting what we cannot forecast.
Understand. And if you see from a longer point of view, and this is also one of the very famous question what retailers expect, कि Nifty जो है by 2030 you see it above 30,000 or below 30,000, or what do you think?
If anybody thinks that it will not cross 30,000, then we all are in the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
You said by 2030 will it cross 30,000? Correct, ना?
Yes.
नहीं, अगर उसका डाउट है तो फिर आई थिंक देन वी आर इन द रॉन्ग प्लेस.
आपने एक बार एक पॉडकास्ट में भी बोला था कि अगर नेक्स्ट 5 years में अगर कोई पैसा नहीं कमाएगा तो उसको बहुत ज़्यादा टैलेंटेड होना पड़ेगा.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult not to make money in India for long-term investors.
Yes, that is true. Okay. So and also आपने रिसेंटली बताया ना टैक्स रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग हुआ है, पॉलिसी पुश हुआ है, बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव्स लिए जा रहे हैं.
Yeah.
राइट, इंसेंटिव्स, PLI स्कीम्स बहुत ज़्यादा दिए जा रहे हैं. तो इफ यू हैव टू पिक लाइक से टॉप 5 सेक्टर्स व्हिच यू से लाइक व्हिच आर लाइक गोल्ड, या मतलब ये सेक्टर्स नेक्स्ट 5-10 years के लिए गोल्ड माइन है, तो व्हिच सेक्टर्स वुड यू पिक व्हिच कैन ग्रो फास्टर देन निफ्टी?
अभी है ना भरत, एट सच अ टाइम आपको गोल्ड माइन का मेटाफर नहीं यूज करना चाहिए था, बिकॉज पीपल आर लिसनिंग कि आप गोल्ड रेकमेंड कर रहे हैं, तो आप डिस्क्लेमर दे दीजिए.
ओके, द डिस्क्लेमर इज गोल्ड के बारे में हम ना बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, जस्ट
गोल्ड माइन इज अ मेटाफर.
या मेटाफर है गोल्ड माइन. एंड आल्सो या डिस्क्लेमर आपने याद दिलाया, एंड वन डिस्क्लेमर इज दैट कि आशीष जी ने हमें पैसे दे के नहीं बुलाया. दिस इज नॉट अ PR इंटरव्यू. हमने बस उनको अप्रोच किया, वुड यू लाइक टू शेयर सम थॉट्स विद द ऑडियंस, वुड यू लाइक टू टीच देम समथिंग, and that's why we are doing this. So ये भी एक disclaimer है, because I read a lot of comments and that's why I'm giving the disclaimer. Okay.
Yeah, so see, 4-5 things I'll tell you. One is that there are few things which are, say for example, if you take the whole industrials and manufacturing, okay, my general sense is that again, इसमें 2 steps forward, 1 step backward होता है. People have very many doubts about whether we can be a big manufacturing, engine or not. My personal opinion is that over the next few years, we will transform into a more manufacturing oriented country. 2 or 3 reasons. One is that, for example, most common criticism people have is that, so what is so great here? In certain things you're just doing assembly. But I would like to remind those people that, when I was a kid in 1984, Maruti was very much an imported car. It was just being imported from Japan.
Okay.
And then after the import started, they started thinking that, okay, some thousands of cars are selling. Why are we importing cars? Let's import the kits, right? And let's import the spares and let's assemble, right? And then when you start assembling, and then, instead of thousands, you start selling lakhs of cars. Then you say, boss, assembling is difficult, it's expensive. Why don't we start indigenizing and start backward integrating and create the whole value chain? So a lot of our the entire auto ancillary industry in India might be because of Hero, Honda and Maruti Suzuki to some extent, right? Because all of these guys in early 80s, they were importer. From importer, they moved to assembly. From assembly, they started integrating backwards. And then now we have the entire ancillary industry. So when electronics are being assembled here, or certain capital goods are being assembled here, or for instance mobile phones are being assembled here.
Correct.
So what lot of people are criticizing, तो ऐसा क्या ग्रेट कर लिया आपने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में, आप तो खाली असेंबली कर रहे हो. तो बाबा असेंबली इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप.
Okay.
राइट. इफ सम पीपल आर गोइंग टू इम्पोर्ट इलेक्ट्रिक कार्स, इंडिया में इतनी तादाद में अगर वी आर सेलिंग 45 लाख कार्स अ ईयर, if you start buying some 5-10 lakh electric cars, then the guys who are going to import those electric cars, they will also think ना कि बॉस इधर 500,000 electric cars बिक रहा है, तो चलो assemble करते हैं.
Yes.
फिर assemble करेगा तो वही बोलेगा कि ठीक है अभी component भी बनाना पड़ेगा, या तो let's start sourcing components locally. Right?
Okay.
So it has been seen that that is how it always starts. Right? The other important thing to keep in mind is that something I'm going to say which is not new, it's cliched, but we will anyway be the biggest consumer force and the biggest labor force. So people will find it lucrative or attractive to manufacture here.
Okay.
So out of, you told me 4-5 sectors, but one thing I want see some of the other things, like if I tell you capital market companies, if I tell you high end or expensive or discretionary consumption, travel, tourism, you know, everything to do with per capita income going up.
Okay.
Those are obvious things that you might be aware of.
Yes.
But I just wanted to add that I am not a person who's skeptical on manufacturing, for instance. I believe that eventually we will become bigger and bigger relatively in manufacturing.
Okay. Right. Actually आपने सही बोला, ये बहुत ज़्यादा criticisms था, and also reels के टाइम में you know right कि कुछ भी रील बनाते हैं, कुछ भी बोलते हैं, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द रील्स दैट वेंट वायरल वेयर लाइक कि हम बस असेंबली करते हैं, हम कोर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं करते. वी आर बीन कंपेयर टू जापान की जापान देखो.
नहीं तो 1984 में लोग रील बना रहे होते तो मारुति को ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना कि तुम तो असेंबल कर रहे हो, इंपोर्ट कर रहे हो, वही बोलते हैं. बट आफ्टर 20 years now, after 30-35 years down the line, we are not only a big auto ancillary industry. अभी रिवर्स है, अभी हम लोग के auto ancillary companies are exporters and they are multinationals.
Exactly.
Right. Our auto ancillary companies are now running plants outside the country. Correct. So it's full circle.
Yes. And this is how in general businesses work, right? Like अगर छोटा सा एग्जांपल भी ले तो अगर कोई स्ट्रीट वेंडर है तो उसके बाद थोड़ा सा वो ग्रो करेगा, थोड़ा छोटा ठेला लगाएगा, उसके बाद he'll build a restaurant. Kind of.
See, when anybody who's, whether it's an economy or a business, everybody who starts any business, you don't expect them to come with the whole supply chain. Any business you start or any business I start, we are making a hypothesis. Our hypothesis needs to get tested. It needs to show us some positive result for us to move forward.
That is
तो
true.
पहले दिन आके पूरा थोड़ी बैठ जाता है.
Yes, that is true. And Ashish, this is again a famous question, and this question is, if you have to make a portfolio in 2030, how do you pick stocks, and कौन से factors consider करने चाहिए? Sectors के बारे में आपने बताया. If you want to elaborate on sectors, you can.
No, so see, we have see, picking stocks, generally what happens is that, see, we are a mutual fund manager, correct? Whenever you ask me what sectors I think will grow, that is called a top-down view. I've given you a background of the economy or per capita income and told you that these are top 3, 4, 5 sectors which will do well. That's a top-down thought process. But when we are managing our portfolios, we are not managing our portfolios by starting with an assumption that these sectors will do well, we should buy these sectors. No. Because in the market, whatever I may think, that may work over the long term. But in the market in next 6 months, there are 5 sectors I named. In the next 6 months, some other sector may work. Right. Now, our benchmark is BSE 500, and BSE 500 as an index has all the sectors.
Yes.
So I'm not concerned. You asked me which are the top sectors, so I said top sectors. But for managing a portfolio, nobody's asked me to identify top sectors. For managing a portfolio, I've been tasked with beating the benchmark. Right? If you have an exam where there are 10 chapters in the syllabus, if I ask you which are your favorite 5 chapters, तो उसका क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे दिया आपने, करेक्ट. डज इट मीन कि आपको एग्जाम पास करने के लिए खाली वो 5 चैप्टर पढ़ने का है? नहीं ना. सो सेम वे I have given top sectors, but when it comes to the exam, I will study all the chapters, and in every chapter I will try to outperform. So we are not a sectoral investor. We are an investor which is managing portfolios to beat BSE 500, and BSE 500 has good companies, bad companies, PSU companies, private companies, domestic companies, export oriented, defensive, cyclical, the sectors which I named, the sectors which I did not name. So in every sector, we are going to identify relative outperformers.
Acha, okay.
And that's how we want to beat the benchmark consistently. Now, relative outperformers meaning at every point in time, we need to be mindful of the prospects of individual companies. So we evaluate prospects of individual companies. We build our own, discounted cash flow and valuation models. We have our own framework for valuation called Opco Finco. So that we have our own process. We buy, every company is bottom up, and every company has its own valuation models. It has to go through our own analysis.
और आपने इसको एग्जाम का एग्जाम्पल आपने सही दिया, बिकॉज जनरली यही होता है ना कि जो चैप्टर आप छोड़ते हो वहीं से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं.
So I'll tell you, see, you mentioned that a lot of people who follow you are, stock pickers, for instance.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. You mentioned that you were in the tech industry, right? ERP.
Yes.
Correct. So if you are going to start picking stocks, what I've seen normally, let's say I'm in the asset management industry. Let's say I understand asset management, wealth management, broking, for instance. Now leave aside my hat as a professional CEO. If I have to start investing in equity, where should I start? I should start from the industry which I understand.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
But what do people do? अभी बाजार में क्या चल रहा है? बोलेगा अभी बाजार में केमिकल्स चल रहा है. बोले बस तुम ERP चला रहे, तुमको क्या मालूम केमिकल में क्या चल रहा है? Correct? So that's the point. That फेवरेट आपने किसी को सुन लिया कि ये टॉप सेक्टर है, सो बराबर है, वो टॉप सेक्टर है, उसने अपना समझ अपने आपको, दैट पर्सन हैज एक्सप्लेन टू यू व्हाट देयर थॉट प्रोसेस इज एंड व्हाट दे थिंक इज द टॉप सेक्टर. बट व्हाट इज योर कैपेबिलिटी? इफ आई से दैट ऑटो एंसिलरी इंडस्ट्री विल डू वेल, and let's say somebody is listening who is working in some bank, but that person is relatively more capable to understand banking, no? Why will they suddenly start understanding auto ancillary? So if you are going to make a direct equity portfolio, your first port of call should be to start from the industry in which you work. And even if you are not a expert analyst, at least for that industry, you will understand some basics. If you don't even understand that, at least you will be able to ask around, no? Because you will have enough senior people from the industry.
Yes.
You can ask them, na, कि sir आपको क्या लगता है ये क्या हो रहा है? You can ask some questions.
Correct.
But if I suddenly start कि भाई मेरे को केमिकल इंडस्ट्री में इन्वेस्ट करना है, तो क्या करूँगा मैं? साउथ गुजरात में जाके हर एक फैक्ट्री को जाके थोड़ी वो मेरे को मीटिंग देगा, राइट? सो आई थिंक यू शुड स्टार्ट फ्रॉम योर एफिनिटी एरिया.
ओके. यानी एक वॉरेन बफेट का कोट है कि यू शुड इन्वेस्ट इन व्हाट यू अंडरस्टैंड, काइंड ऑफ.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. You said it simply, yeah.
Actually, why I ask this question is कि there are a lot of audience, and whenever I read comments or whenever I try to interact with audience, what I find is that कि बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो मतलब सबको ये पता है कि to make your first crore is very very difficult.
Yeah.
And सबका पास अभी मतलब जो जनरल रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स होते हैं, they would have like say 2 lakh or 4 lakh or 5 lakh saving होता है, and they aspire to grow this like say in 5 years or 10 years, whatever time it takes, they want to reach to 1 crore.
Yeah.
तो इसी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मैंने पूछा था कि what should be their approach of investing, and as a investor, if you want to teach them some investment strategy, वो investment strategy क्या होगा?
See, first is not to repeat, but one is that if you are a direct equity, if you insist, okay, see, there are clearly 2 or 3 choices. Some people want to pick stocks, right? Some people will start SIP in a mutual fund. Some people might even trade FNO. They may be very aggressive guys. Some people will say कुछ नहीं करने का, ये IPO में पैसा लगाते हैं. So everybody will have different starting point, and I would not say any of them is wrong. I think that before you arrive at a conclusion of what works for you, you are at liberty to try out any of this. But then in a year or so, 6 महीना 12 महीना 18 महीना में आपको समझ आना चाहिए कि भाई what I can do, what I cannot do, what I'm capable of, what I'm not capable of, what suits my risk profile, what doesn't suit my risk profile. And then arrive at a conclusion. I can do this, I cannot do this. This will work for me, this will not work for me. And then you pursue forward.
Okay.
Correct? It has been said that the less risky strategy is to do SIP in a mutual fund. Most risky is to try to become a trader. Right? And the other two, which is picking stocks, trying your hand at different IPOs, maybe different levels of risk.
Yes.
So I don't believe that I should preach or advise anybody, because everybody will have their own thought process. But I think you should quickly figure out what works for you. That is the key. And I'm repeating, I'm in the mutual fund industry, so I would say it. So take it with a pinch of salt. But relatively stable way or consistent way is to do SIP in a diversified fund. That's the thing.
Okay. And also ये तो हो गया मतलब बहुत कम कैपिटल वाले इन्वेस्टर्स का, where you spoke about like risk है ये, like risk reward, you explained it very
Absolutely.
well. But we get a lot of emails from, especially from NRIs, especially from high net worth individuals saying that कि मुझे 10 करोड़ इन्वेस्ट करना है, 50 करोड़ इन्वेस्ट करना है, बट आई एम टू स्केर्ड कि यार पैसा खो ना दे, लॉस ना हो जाए. तो ऐसे इन्वेस्टर्स क्या करना चाहिए? Like who already have like good amount of capital.
Yeah. So see, it's not necessary that everybody has to invest all the money in equity. Let's understand one thing, that low but consistent return comes from fixed income or debt. High return but inconsistent with fluctuation comes in equity. Reducing the volatility of the portfolio comes from gold. So people who already have a particular corpus, if they put that corpus in the bank, they'll be worried कि यार 5-6% मिलेगा और उसके ऊपर टैक्स लगेगा, उतना तो इन्फ्लेशन भी बीट नहीं करेगा. So they will say, okay, I have accumulated a corpus, but I cannot let the value get destroyed here. I mean, that corpus has to grow. So then you will say, ठीक है, इक्विटी में डालो. So बोलेगा नहीं यार, लेकिन इक्विटी में 10 करोड़ का 9 करोड़ हो गया तो मेरा रात का नींद उड़ जाएगा. कभी ना कभी 10 का 12 होएगा, लेकिन along the way 10 का 9.5 हो सकता है ना, दैट इज इक्विटी.
करेक्ट.
सो दे विल लूज स्लीप ओवर इट. देन दे से नो 10 का 12 होगा, उस उम्मीद में मैं 10 का 9 नहीं देख सकता हूँ. सो देन यू से ओके, यू कांट डू फुल्ली इक्विटी ऑल्सो. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, दिस इज द रीजन व्हाई द इंडस्ट्री हैज वर्कड वेरी वेरी हार्ड, भरत, टू क्रिएट हाइब्रिड फंड्स. अभी आप देखिएगा, जो आपको पता है 50 लाख करोड़ इज द इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री. इसमें से अगर आप EPFO का पैसा, इंडेक्स फंड, ETF, पेंशन मनी, काफ़ी कुछ जो निकाल देंगे, इंस्टीट्यूशनल मनी वगैरह, दैट विल बी अबाउट 41 lakh crores. Do you know, out of 41 lakh crores, nearly 7 lakh crores or 6 to 7 lakh crores is hybrid funds. That's the faster growing category. Because what is happening, a lot of people who want protection, they were putting money in debt. बट इंटरेस्ट रेट इतना गिर गया है कि वो लोग को डेट में डालने का नहीं है. और जिसको भी डेट में नहीं डालना है, वो पूरा पैसा इक्विटी में डालने के भी खुश नहीं हो रहा है, बिकॉज उसको रिस्क लग रहा है उसमें. तो देन गिवन यू लॉन्ग आंसर, बट देन द पीपल हु हैव दिस ट्रेपिडेशन कि यार आई वांट माय मनी टू ग्रो, बट आई डोंट वांट द कैपिटल टू गेट डिस्ट्रॉयड, बट आई कांट पुट मनी इन डेट बिकॉज इट विल एनीवे नॉट ग्रो. So for them, all these hybrid funds are created. So then you have to see the right combination what works for you. Right? Like I gave a indirect example, those are multi-asset funds. They put your money in debt, equity and gold. Then there are balance advantage funds, which calibrate your money. Equity market नीचे जाता है तो equity allocation बढ़ा देता है. When equity market starts rising, allocation reduce कर देता है.
Okay.
So there are different combinations of hybrid funds. I think people should keep an eye on that. ऐसा नहीं है कि सब म्यूचुअल फंड खाली इक्विटी करता है.
नहीं, अभी अगर कैपिटल एलोकेशन वगैरह करना है ना, तो बहुत लोग मतलब especially like people who want to invest more money, no?
Yeah.
They'll be like, either they'll be at a, you know, what do you say, like corporate ladder के बहुत ऊपर होंगे, टाइम नहीं होगा, अगर बिजनेस चला रहे तो टाइम नहीं होगा. तो ऐसे टाइम पे like fund managers like you, or do you also have wealth management services?
Of course. So White Oak as a company is obviously just a, we are a professional fund management company. We are not a wealth manager. Right? So what will happen if you want to get your house interiors done? You will not go to everybody who is going to sell you furniture and paint and wallpaper and electrical fixtures and all, right? You will go to an interior designer possibly. The interior designer will agree with you that what is the design, what is the plan, and then help you कि यहाँ से ये ले सकते हैं, यहाँ से ये लग सकते हैं, and then you get it done.
Yes.
So in our industry also there are like there are architects and interior designers and there are doctors and lawyers. Obviously in our industry there are mutual fund distributors, there are registered investment advisors, there are wealth managers, private bankers, there are service providers. All our customers don't come looking for White Oak. A lot of customers are obviously guided by the wealth managers or mutual fund distributors or some registered advisors.
I get it, but why I'm asking this question is that कि मैंने ये जब श्रीराम वेल्थ के विकास सर के साथ किया था ना,
yes,
तो उनके साथ भी मैंने ये पूछा था कि अब specifically I said right कि we get a lot of emails but we are not authorized to do that.
Of course, नहीं करता है. Yeah.
That's why just to address the question what we get through you guys, I want to know like what your company does to help them if they want.
Yeah, so of course if somebody wants to know, see, at the bare minimum simplest level, if a client reaches out right? Then we obviously, somebody at our end, who's in our service team or who's in our relationship management team, they will ask them some basic questions that, what is your experience of investing? What are you looking to invest for? What time horizon? Then, related to this, that if 100 rupees becomes 80, is it okay or you will lose sleep? Because equity mein kya hai? See, the longer term average is such that in equity people make good returns. But we know that along the way sometimes the NAV can go down.
Yes.
So we ask some basic questions. There are some norms that we have to follow in terms of assessing suitability for the investor, assessing the risk. And then we tell them that, okay, this product might be relevant for you, right? And like you said, like you gave a great example of Vikas, say in Shriram Wealth. So they are a good wealth management company. They help clients to understand requirements, do asset allocation, and then suggest what's the right combination for them.
Yes.
There are, like professional wealth managers.
Actually, उनके साथ discussion के time एक point आया था कि right now in India में less than 15% of the wealth is professionally managed.
Yeah,
85 is like कि people try it on their own. And ये specific इस question को मैं हर fund managers इनके साथ क्यों discuss करता हूँ, because I see that कि बहुत लोग आते हैं stock market में and I don't know, they somehow end up in F&O segment. And they lose money and then they blame stock market कि stock market काम नहीं करता है, stock market तो fraud है, ये है वो है. And that's why like I feel like इसको address करना थोड़ा important है कि how to enter the market in a right manner, कि मतलब क्या कर सकते हो क्या नहीं कर सकते.
I mean, of course, see, it's like this. The market treats you the way you treat the market. If you behave like a gambler, then the market is a casino. Correct?
Yes.
And if you behave respectfully, the market will reward you. It's like that.
मतलब हर किस के लिए space है, whatever they want to do.
Yeah, of course.
And Ashish, next question is about AI, because AI is everywhere right now, even in mutual fund, wealth management, finance sector में भी AI अभी बहुत जल्द penetrate कर रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा penetrate कर रहा है. And अभी AI के related ना, first question is that some people believe AI is going to change the world, सब कुछ बदल देगा. And कुछ set of लोग ये believe करते हैं कि AI is right now kind of a bubble. जो .com बबल के टाइम में हो रहा था वही AI में भी हो रहा है राइट नाउ. तो अभी अगर ये बबल भी फूटेगा तो क्या .com बबल के टाइम जो इम्पैक्ट पड़ा था मार्केट्स के ऊपर वैसा इम्पैक्ट कुछ पड़ सकता है? एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, डू यू बिलीव AI इज इन अ बबल राइट नाउ?
So, actually, Bharat, the first statement and second statement of yours, both of them are right. Because what happens is that if you look at it from a stock market perspective, see, real implementation and execution of AI and AI related models, my limited understanding, see, let's look at it this way. When you and me are talking, or our audience talks about AI, what is their interface with AI, right? They might be using ChatGPT, GPT-5, they might be using Gemini from Google, or in their MS Office, they might be using Copilot, or you may use Grok, or right, these large language models. And a lot of these are working on open source, right? They're working on the World Wide Web, whatever is publicly available data, through the network, through the neural networks, they're pulling all the information, but they're basically working on open data. But let us say you work for a bank or a broking company, and you are deploying use cases of AI for understanding and servicing and offering the right products to your customers. So then you will not work on World Wide Web, no?
Yes.
Then you are working on information, structured, unstructured information and data sets which are inside your company.
Correct.
So you need all interactions of the customer with you, all transactions done by the customer with you, right? You will need credit card, home loan, bank account, personal loan, all interactions.
Yes.
When has the customer called you? When did you call? What did he say? How did he behave? Statement email में लेता है कि print out लेता है? So many, right? So only if you have all these data lakes, where you're bunked in all your structured, unstructured data, and then you can write some, models to ride on this, then it will work. Today, you ask me, how many organizations have proactively made you a call or send you an email, which is you are like, wow, how did you know this? हुआ है आपके साथ कभी?
नहीं हुआ है ना.
So point is that we all are getting excited about what is AI models in general which is operating on the मतलब आप कुछ क्वेरी करने के बजाय AI को पूछ रहे हो तो आपको एक बढ़िया सा स्ट्रक्चर्ड रिस्पॉन्स दे रहा है बट दैट इज फॉर योर क्वेरीज विच आर राइडिंग ऑन ओपन सोर्स ना वेयर इज इट बीइंग यूज्ड इन मल्टीपल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस
Okay.
Every organization will have to first get their information in place. They'll have to get their databases and data lakes in place. And then on top of it, they'll have to write their internal models to service customers in a way that customers feel that, wow, you're really understanding me. Correct? So that is the real world.
Yes.
Now you come to stock market. Stock market तो मतलब US इंडिया में तो AI कंपनीज लिस्टेड नहीं है. So stock market में तो AI is already implemented and it has already changed the world like you said. है ना? 33% of S&P 500 is just those 7
Stocks.
hyperscalers.
Yes.
Correct? And they are saying $400 billion invest करेगा, data centers बनाएगा. Right?
Yes.
So both your statements were right. I gave a long answer. But in the stock market, AI has been already implemented and digested and it has already changed the world.
Okay.
But in the real world, और ये हर बार होता है, technology is all pervasive. Internet is all pervasive.
No, and that is the concern.
But stock market went up in 1999, 2000.
Yes.
Right? We are living in a digital world. But
Okay.
the tech boom was when? In India, there was a stock market infra sector in India was booming in 2007. तो जो भी वो बोल रहा था हुआ ना. We have 143 airports. We have beautiful roads,
Yes.
at least in some parts of the country. We have ports, we have railways, bullet train आ रहा है, metro rail आ रहा है. हुआ सब 15 साल के बाद हुआ.
yes.
लेकिन स्टॉक मार्केट तो 15 साल पहले ही ऊपर जाके नीचे आ गया ना.
Okay.
So दोनों स्टेटमेंट आपका करेक्ट है. You just need to understand where we are in the real world and where we are in the stock market.
Okay. तो अभी मतलब AI के रिलेटेड वही कंसर्न है कि स्टॉक आपने सही बोला है. स्टॉक मार्केट ने ऑलरेडी डाइजेस्ट कर लिया है. वो 7 स्टॉक्स ऑलरेडी भाग गए. बट लॉट ऑफ पीपल दे आर स्केप्टिकल कि ये सच में उतना इन्वेस्टमेंट जो उन्होंने किया है रिजल्ट जनरेट किया है कि नहीं करेगा या करेगा. सो दैट वाज द स्केप्टिसिज्म एंड यू आल्सो आंसर्ड दैट.
See, ऐसा नहीं कि यूज नहीं. See, even organizations like us, right? We are basically stock picker. We have human evaluation, human judgment. But we are already working on, ways to, better processing of research, efficiency, throwing out more decision-oriented outputs. So we are doing our own hypothesis and use cases. But I'm just trying to explain to you where the real world is and where the stock market is.
Understand? Yes. एंड ये वाला जो क्वेश्चन है ना, दीज 2 पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर्स मैंने दिवेना के साथ भी डिस्कस किया, विकास के साथ भी डिस्कस किया, एंड राइट नाउ आई एम डिस्कसिंग इट विथ यू ऑल्सो बिकॉज आई फाइंड इट लाइक कि गवर्नमेंट पुश भी इन 2 सेक्टर्स को मिल रहा है और वो 2 सेक्टर्स है सेमीकंडक्टर्स एंड डेटा सेंटर्स.
जी.
अभी रिसेंटली डेटा सेंटर्स के रिलेटेड ये न्यूज़ आ रहा था कि गवर्नमेंट इज प्रपोजिंग टू गिव GST इनपुट क्रेडिट टू जो भी कैपिटल एसेट्स वगैरह वहाँ पर परचेज किए जाएंगे टू बिल्ड डेटा सेंटर्स. जैसे कि कंस्ट्रक्शन वगैरह पहले उसका GST इनपुट नहीं मिलता था, अभी मिलेगा. एंड सेमीकंडक्टर्स के रिलेटेड भी दीज डेज वी आर सीइंग दैट कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज पुशिंग, एंड रिसेंटली इंडिया में इट्स फर्स्ट फुल्ली इंटीग्रेटेड सेमीकंडक्टर चिप ऑल्सो. तो दीज सेक्टर्स, डू यू थिंक दैट दे हैव अ स्कोप टू ग्रो इन इंडिया? एंड इफ दे हैव अ स्कोप देन व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ ग्रोथ कैन वी एक्सपेक्ट? बिकॉज अभी बहुत लोग सोच रहे हैं कि क्या ये सेमीकंडक्टर सेक्टर है, डेटा सेंटर सेक्टर है, कैन इट बी लाइक big like IT, how IT became, or can we see like big companies like IT companies became?
See, data centers are obviously part of critical infrastructure. So the way in India now, for example, in last 10 years, you have seen the Flipkarts and Amazons of the world are really scaling. And hence you are seeing an entire network of warehousing which is developing. Correct? So when you have higher and higher usage of digital technology and then AI riding on top of those, databases and digital tools, then obviously the usage of chips and semiconductors and data centers will go up. It's the infrastructure. And let's understand one thing, that what will you do with all of those pieces of infrastructure? The real money is made by the end use case. The infrastructure earns rent.
Okay.
Correct? So my point is it will grow. anybody investing should ensure that they don't get overexcited and overestimate either the impact or the speed of the impact. मतलब जो चीज़ समझो कि you know, I give you an example of airports. Today we have 143 airports. But the stock market made you think in 2007 itself that we might have.
Yes.
ये जो बात हो रहा है ना 2006-7 में आई थिंक इंडिया में 100 एयरक्राफ्ट भी नहीं होएगा. तभी से लोग बोल रहे हैं कि इतना एयरक्राफ्ट आएगा. कितना साल लग गया आने के लिए. अभी इंडिगो का 400 के ऊपर एयरक्राफ्ट है, राइट. एंड जैसे मैंने बोला इतने सारे एयरपोर्ट्स हैं. बट what happens is that some things get discounted too soon when people are overexcited. But the real impact on the ground comes say 5 years later, 7 years later. I know कि infrastructure में 15-20 साल लग गया doesn't mean कि tech usage या data center में 15 साल लगेगा. 15 ही लगेगा तो 5-7 साल तो लगेगा ना.
Yes, yes.
And then who in the value chain will make return? What type of return can a data center make?
Yes.
It can make operating lease cost or rental or something like that, no? Yeah, chip manufacturers can make money. The people who are going to use all that technology for end use cases and make their businesses more attractive or more efficient, yes, they will make money. But आपको क्या लगता है आप और हम डेटा सेंटर अगर बनाएंगे तो कितना पैसा बनेगा? Right? It's a piece of infrastructure. So I feel that timeliness of assessment and the speed at which something will happen उसका assessment वो बहुत important होता है. बहुत जल्दी बहुत ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दोगे तो पैसा नहीं बनता है.
करेक्ट. और ये आपने डेटा सेंटर्स के बारे में ये बहुत सही बोला है. एंड एक्चुअली नेक्स्ट पॉइंट वही था डिस्कस करना कि राइट नाउ आप देखोगे ना डेटा सेंटर्स को ना काइंड ऑफ जिस तरीके से अभी रियल एस्टेट कंपनीज है उनके साथ कंपेयर किया जा रहा है बिकॉज इट नीड्स रियल एस्टेट और जो भी कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है सर्वर का है कूलिंग सिस्टम्स का इलेक्ट्रिकल्स का है कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट और पावर जनरेशन रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी का अगर बिकॉज इट कंज्यूम्स अ लॉट ऑफ पावर एंड मे बी हो सकता है आने वाले टाइम में गवर्नमेंट ये मैंडेट भी कर दे या गवर्नमेंट एक इंसेंटिव भी दे दे कि आप रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी यूज करो इसके लिए. तो do you think that this gives a kind of like scope for real estate companies or real estate sector to reimagine their business?
So real estate already is doing great now. In India, for example, if you see commercial real estate is really booming. I gave you example that because of in the last 5 years because delivery of quick commerce and delivery of things, obviously warehousing is picking up. Correct. You can clearly see hospitals and hotels related. You can see malls. अभी mall का REIT बन गया है. Correct.
Yes.
So with the growth, obviously all types of real estate is doing well. So अच्छा हुआ आपने real estate से compare किया because उसी तरीके से जैसे commercial real estate होता है, जैसे warehousing होता है, वैसे ही data centers होता है. Obviously हर चीज़ का configuration अलग है, हर चीज़ के inputs अलग हैं, right? So I would just say it's a piece of infrastructure basically, and it will grow. But I don't know in that value chain the guy who builds the data center will make the most money, or the guy who supplies the chips will make most money, or the guy who is ancillary to the data center जैसे आपने बोला cooling system चाहिए, right? Wiring and cabling चाहिए. तो will the ancillary make money or will the end use case make money? पूरा value chain है ना?
Yes, yes.
So getting too excited about one thing prematurely, you should be careful.
And with respect to this entire thing of data centers, right? तो एक theory ये बोला जाता है कि जो what do you say like data centers जो bottom of the chain में आते हैं and the users जो है जिसके ऊपर वो applications build करेंगे वो top of the chain में आते हैं and valuation इसी chain में जाएगा कि सबसे ज़्यादा valuation ऊपर वाले को मिलेगा और सबसे ये
That's what. So you obviously articulated it very well. That's what I was saying that the guy who is closer to the customer and deploying the end use case or the guy who's supplying the infrastructure, you have to see where to bet.
Okay. I think because right now बहुत लोग इसी confusion में है कि data centers could be like a Microsoft or a Google, but it is actually not.
It's a piece of infrastructure. Yeah, yes. It will. I mean, ideally, I understand that it has high value-added items like servers and chips, and there are people who are making those also. But I would say that if you purely talk about data centers, they are obviously on an operating lease cost kind of.
Understand? Yes. We'll quickly go to the what you say rapid fire round then. रैपिड फायर में ना आई थिंक यू ऑलरेडी बीन थ्रू रैपिड फायर राउंड्स तो यहाँ पर सोचना नहीं होता है आपको फटाक से आंसर देना होता है.
श्योर.
एंड द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टिंग स्टॉक मार्केट और रियल एस्टेट.
स्टॉक मार्केट.
for long-term investing, gold or real estate?
Real estate.
Can Bitcoin replace gold?
I don't think so.
And who's your favorite movie star?
Very difficult question. I forgot. I have not seen movies for a very, very long time actually. I actually don't have a favorite movie star. Maybe Amitabh
Okay.
Bachchan. Maybe Amitabh Bachchan.
Acceptable answer.
Yeah.
And who is your favorite star investor?
I don't have any favorite. I've learned from multiple people.
Okay. And if you had to invest in foreign markets, if you have two options, China or USA, where would you invest?
USA.
And if you had to pick, say, your own personal portfolio, like with the risk appetite, whatever you have, would you pick large cap stocks or small cap stocks?
Small cap.
For IPOs, right? So already there are a lot of IPOs, right?
Yeah.
So you would prefer already listed companies or the fresh IPOs?
No, we should evaluate on merit. There's nothing wrong with IPOs.
Okay. Fixed deposit or debt funds?
I actually invest in neither of them, but if you force me to pick one, then debt funds.
Okay. In stock picking, human or AI, who can pick better
Human,
stocks?
human.
And would you prefer a luxury lifestyle or a financial freedom?
One versus the other nahi hai actually. It's not one versus the other.
I mean to say,
Both.
this specific question is for the iPhone thing recently happening. बहुत सारे 10 में से 7 iPhone अभी EMI पे चल रहे हैं.
हाँ.
So, and this question is with
Oh
with
yeah,
respect
yeah.
to
So
that.
yeah. So luxury lifestyle on borrowed means answer is no.
Okay. So Ashish, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure.